Hello friends, this is Marilyn from tarotclarity.com, and today's video is focused on the Angel Tarot, which was a deck produced in Japan expressly for U.S. Game Systems Inc., which was located in Stamford, Connecticut. Now, I remember when this deck came out in 1980, or I don't know if that's exactly when I saw it, but I remember seeing it on a shelf and being put off by the name Angel Tarot. Because around that time is when the New Age stuff was, coming out. And, I had already by then decidedly preferred, pip style playing cards. And I guess, I judged a deck by its cover and never got past the cover. Remember, in those days, in the 80s, even the 90s, there was no online presentation of cards. And so you would go to a novelty shop or a bookstore. You would see a deck, chances were good. It was sealed in, plastic wrap. And, you couldn't get at the deck. And there were very few occasions where a deck was opened and, had cards on display. So I probably never looked at it beyond looking at the front. If I'd have flipped it over, I'd have seen that it was in a Marseille tradition, at least the trump cards. But at any rate, fast forward 40 years, and, a few weeks ago, one of my followers on Instagram, and I'd like to give her a shout out, Candlelight Cards 2020, asked me a question about this deck, and if I wouldn't mind looking it up in the Stuart Kaplan encyclopedia. And so I did for her. And when I was looking at the cards as they were in the book, I thought, wow, what a pretty deck, So it prompted me to start looking for it. Now, this deck is kind of expensive. However, I have one of these stories for you that you won't believe. So I thought, well, it's out of print. I'm never going to find it. And when I did find it, I found it for $19.99. And you won't believe where. On Amazon. Any rate, I received the deck in the mail yesterday. It came with the little white book, as per usual. It's aged in an appropriate way. From what I can tell, it looks as though this is the first edition. It doesn't say first edition, but there are no previous editions mentioned. And there would be. Also, when I received it yesterday, I opened it up. The first thing I do is put cards in sequence to make sure I have all the cards. But it was originally, the way I received it yesterday was in agreement with the description here, the way the cards were collated with the two of coins, or they call them pentacles, followed by the 22 trump cards, followed by the pips, with the king, queen, knight, and page coming first. So that's the way I did receive it. Now, I received it like this, with the shrink wrap partially on it, but the top seal of the shrink wrap visibly torn. But as I said, it was it was collated in the way described in the little white book. I just rearranged them for the purpose of being able to show you the cards and to make sure I had all the cards. But it's interesting that they left it in the shrink wrap, even though it was partially opened, but that it was in the correct collated order. And these cards clearly have never been used. They still have, a brand new card crispness to them. Yeah, $19.99. Now my backs are the backs and not the dual facing backs that some people have had. Now, when I looked it up for in Candlelight Cards 2020, I'll read exactly what it says from the encyclopedia. 78 card deck published in 1980 by Angel Playing Card Company, which is where the name comes from, of Japan. So, it was the playing card company, the manufacturing company was Angel Cards, a Japanese company. The faces of the cards have images that were redrawn from the classical tarot. The backs show a golden orange design of two faces. So I'm not sure why I have plaid. It's possible that this was the one that was printed in Japan, for use, and then when it was presented to the United States, it was presented with the face design for the United States. I don't know if this is the very first tarot deck ever printed in Japan, but if it isn't, it was one of the first. And the box is appropriately aged for a box from 1980. Now, it was sent to me, in a bubble wrap kind of packaging, which, doesn't give a whole lot of protection. But I think most of the wear and tear on this box is just from age and sitting around. It could have gotten smushed a little bit, but, from being shipped to me. But I'd like to give a shout out to the company that sold it to me. Half Price Books. I got it for $19.99, and I'm thinking it's the first edition of this deck, so I got a great price. Anyway, let's look at the cards. Now, I love the images. I do. But, I'm sometimes put off by if it's put in English, and I'm usually always put off by, the occultist name for things rather than, if you're going to copy from a style, or if you're going to mimic a style, then, keep the original name for things. However, bear in mind that this was 1980. U.S. Game Systems, Inc., their cash cow was the writer, the Waite Coleman Smith deck. People would have been familiar with names like the High Priestess as a result, right? Rather than the female pope, which would have been the traditional name for a deck that matched this style. And so I think maybe it was just U.S. Game Systems, Inc. way of, updating an old deck, giving it new flavor, maybe changing the names. An attempt at modernization. It has an overall, well, at least these trump cards have an overall orange feel, brown feel, which was kind of prevalent in the 70s. Well, at least strength is 11 and not 8. And justice is 8 and not 11. So I'll give them that. It really bugs me when I see, a pip style deck and then justice is 11, and strength is 8. It really annoys me. It's a pet peeve. So I'm glad to see that although they have the occultist names on the cards, that at least they have the sequencing of those two cards the way they do. Well, interesting. Death is named. Oh, look at this devil. Looks like a Halloween costume face. Not too scary. I guess that's what makes it scary, right? Ooh. Now onto the pips, which are already colorfully explosive. Notice the spades which appear on the swords. So they're not scimitars, they're not curved swords, and they're not in the traditional arrangement. Wow. I'm not married to the Marseille arrangement, of pips. I like pips. They don't have to be Marseille style for me. Wow. Yeah, I'm kicking myself in the rear end for not having bought this, 40 years ago when I first became aware of it. And every card in the suit of swords appears to have the spade, as do all of the court cards. I would have been off-put by the name Angel, though. That would have been like, no thanks. But, I didn't know that it was the name of the card manufacturing company. So the backs, I'm noticing as I handle the cards, there's nothing on them, but there's just a feel of waxiness. And again, the suit of batons has the clubs. The French suit also superimposed on there. So now in the book, they refer to the suit of coins as pentacles, which I don't know why they would, because there are no pentacles on it. Again, it's a pet peeve giving them, giving names. Although, I was going to say, of course, there are no names on the pips themselves, but on the quartz, they allocate it as pentacles. Again, the association with the diamonds for the suit of coins, and the cups would be designated to correspond with cups, hearts. Oh, I love these pips. I think the pips are where this deck really comes alive. So there we have it. Again, my backs are the ones with the plaid. The description of it in the U.S. Game Systems Encyclopedia by Stuart Kaplan describes the backs as having a face, but I think that this was the deck that was produced in Japan, and then the one that was produced in the United States actually had the faces facing one another. So I'm kind of glad I have this plaid back because it's, I think, the original or the first edition. The Little White Book is typical of Little White Books, you know, especially of that period of time. You know, kind of selling the myths of some of the now known not to be true origins of tarot. And then a little bit more factual history of the earliest known decks. At least what was known by in 1980. You know, they insist on calling them the major arcana and the minor arcana. And then the names of the individual cards are occultist meanings, you know, occultist names. For, you know, like the character cards. But it's a really pretty deck, and I'm thrilled to have it. And I'm grateful to Candlelight Cards 2020 over at Instagram for reminding me of this deck, and I'm grateful for Half Price Books for selling it for $19.99. And you know, after I bought it, and couldn't believe my good luck in seeing that price, and finding it on eBay. And then the next seller on Amazon who had it, I think, was selling it for $255. So I had this very narrow window of opportunity to get this deck. It was meant to be. Sometimes I get really lucky. I think I bought a Michael Dumet book for 50 cents at a library sale one day. And like, you know, people bemoan that they can't get it for under $400. So sometimes I get really lucky. And you just have to be at the right place at the right time. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed this, seeing this deck, and maybe you'll get lucky too if you look for it. It's worth trying to find. Until next time, friends. Stay well and peace. Whoa! So sorry.